Get off the rat wheel.
Excuse me. This is Senior Vice President Leslie DeRenicourt from Stamford, Connecticut. I'm going to begin the call this morning. Today, of course, is Wednesday. December, and get this, it's 12/12/12. If that's not a day to get your business rocking, I don't know what is. The 12th month, the 12th day, and the 12th year of 2000. So today's the day. Today's the day that you're going to get it, you're going to make it happen, and we're going to get you rocking and rolling by letting you know what the wonderful opportunities that this company offers us. What a vehicle it is for us to get paid on a huge wealth trend. So, you know, today's Commercial Energy Day with National Director Lino Solis and myself, and we're excited to be able to facilitate and share information to allow all of you to leverage what is a huge opportunity to get paid on businesses paying their energy bill every month. Okay? So it's truly, truly an amazing opportunity to be able to do it. It's, probably what is a $200, $300 billion industry of an overall $500 billion industry. And we can get paid just by making an introduction to the right people and following up. Okay? So with that said, we're going to change it up a little bit this morning. We got Lino. Well, let me see if Lino's on. I'm going to put in stuff. Hey, Lino, are you on the line yet? Star 6, please, so I can see you. I didn't see you jump on yet. Lino, Star 6. And with our guest speaker, and real quick, I know you're on the line. We get on Star 6. Okay, so as everybody, we're waiting for everybody to get on the line once again. Okay. Lino's not on yet, but today what we're going to do is definitely cover commercial energy. But we talked about, I think maybe about some months ago, probably about 6 months ago, we had a young lady who came on, and she had closed, at that point, the largest commercial energy deal in 5 weeks. She had over 200 customer points. She went right to the 200-point club on one transaction. Okay, well, that inspired a young man who was a national director to go crazy on the commercial energy side to try to locate a commercial energy deal because he wanted to close his own deal. And guess what? He did. He now has closed the largest commercial energy deal. Don't you love it when you can hear and get inspired by someone else's accomplishment and go out and make it happen? Okay? So we're going to bring him on so we can, talk to him and find out exactly what he did so all of you out here, including myself, can duplicate his success. And so that 6 months from now, we're going to be telling on this call another story how one of you out here on the call or one of you who listens to this call, your team or whatever, who gets inspired to go out there and take action like this young man did and close the next biggest deal in 5 weeks and get paid residually for years to come on the energy bill of these big companies. And so I'm excited. I can't wait to hear how it went down. So we're going to open a line for National Director Ricardo Suber out of the New York market. Ricardo, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Uncle S?
Awesome. You know what? I've been watching you, and I noticed you were posting stuff all along. I also understand, I can't remember who I spoke to, one of your uplines, and they were telling me how you were going crazy, calling everywhere, trying to get a commercial energy deal. So when I actually saw Alex Rodriguez started posting some stuff like, watch out, it's about to go down, and I was like, whoa, and then I saw you guys close the deal. So that's awesome. So truly, we'd love to hear the story of how you got inspired, what you did, and how it went for you to land a deal so everybody else could be inspired and we could get our next big story 6 months from now. So, Ricardo, tell us how it went down.
Okay, great, fantastic. Well, first off, even before we go there, I definitely want to give it back up to this call. This call is phenomenal. It's how I always start my day, and if I don't happen to get up on time, I always catch the playback. So I definitely want to give it back up to you in this phenomenal call. And then, of course, I also want to give it back to the team. You know, of course, Team Power, ASM, under the leadership of Laurent Smalls, the Millionaire Brotherhood, and then, of course, my team, Team Get It Done. So I definitely want to give it back to the team, too. And, of course, I want to thank Lino Solis because it was a result of this call, and then also with the young lady that you spoke of, Karen Clark. That's what really motivated me to really try to kind of knock out one of these really, really large deals. So, you know, it was a lot of trial and error. I think I really grew through the experience, and you know, a lot of times, especially since we closed this big deal, a lot of people, you know, of course, have been asking, well, how did you do it? I've been having these issues. How do you get the big ones? And really, to be honest, all the work was in the process of learning. And I think it pretty much just started with making a decision. Because when I first heard Karen Clark tell her story about how that happened, I actually had my parents listening in. And right around that time, I think a little bit early, only a couple of months prior, we enrolled my mother in the business. She agreed, you know, I established a position for her. She agreed to kind of work it a little bit too and kind of use her contacts. And it was at around that time I said to myself, you know what, I'm really going to stop playing with this, and I'm really going to go for the gusto, continue to go for the smaller deals and really try to learn it so that, you know, one day I could be on this call as well. So I think the first couple of businesses that I tried, they were smaller, kind of mom and pop places, had a laundromat, a Chinese restaurant, a supermarket deal, and the latter of those actually did not close. But I think what a lot of people can attest to in terms of commercial energy is with every failure, you learn a lot. And I wouldn't even call it a failure, but for instance, with the Chinese restaurant, we actually did save that business a significant amount of money, but the owner ended up backing out. And we were a little baffled by that, but apparently he probably spoke to someone or got cold feet for one reason or another. So he ended up backing out of the deal. Then there was a larger deal that came into place, and I thought we were about to close that. We were really excited. We put that all over our Facebook that we were about to close the deal, but we just unfortunately weren't able to save them enough money so that, you know, it wasn't really a valuable enough proposition for them to actually make the switch. This was actually a small supermarket chain, and it was a local chain, but we were, I guess, initially excited for that, but that really didn't go through. And then just all throughout, I said, well, you know what, I'm going to actually really try to go for the gusto. So what I actually did, and this is what I want to encourage everybody to do, is to actually just, you know, and I know it may sound cliche, but you really want to just set a goal, and you want to ask yourself, okay, well, what's a realistic goal for me to tackle, and what am I going to do to work toward that? So it was like right around that point, I would say late August, early September, I said to myself, well, you know what, let me find out if I can in terms of how can I tackle some of these larger deals? How can I kind of get some of these larger deals into my radar? So I actually reached directly out to the leadership at Diversity. This is right before the change that corporate made, so that we had to go through our back office and we had the new broker come aboard. So I actually consciously decided to contact Alex Rodriguez. I introduced myself. Also told my senior vice president, Laurent Smalls, that it was my goal to really start to close larger energy deals. Around that time, I also told Lino Solis my plans as well. And I told Alex, I said, look, I'm going to try to close some of the largest deals. And this is before I did it. I just spoke it into existence. And I also got in touch with Johnny Webb over there at Divertige. And he actually took the time to speak with me. I asked him, just what are some of the larger deals that have been closed? And I remember hearing on the Vitamin Call that, municipalities have been closed, that very large property management companies, universities. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to do what I can to try to tackle those. So I failed a lot. I try to find a way to do it. It's really not in process. When you have a company with thousands and, hundreds of meters, I won't say thousands, but I'll say hundreds of meters, that's a little bit more difficult than submitting it into the back office. So I had to try to find a way around it. So I think, here we are today, after numerous attempts, after many no's, a few people hanging up, we ended up closing a very large deal. And I think the beauty about this particular deal is that this was just a sampling of the company's portfolio, so they intend to do more business. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. So how did you, was this a cold call, or was it using the warm market of your mom? How did you get the lead in to finally get this one going?
Well, this one was really a cold call. I would say the warm market really came into play just in terms of really learning the business and, hammering out the small deals and kind of learning the lingo. But no, this was a cold call in that, I had no relationship with the company. I didn't know anybody there. But I think the way, and what I would advise everybody listening out there to do is to learn at least a little bit about the business before you walk in or before you give them a call. But yeah, this was actually a phone call. I had seen a little bit about this business over the internet. And I think it comes down to education. This one was actually a property management company. And so with property management, I ended up learning that typically the people who make the decisions when it comes to, gas and electricity typically are either the people who have to do with sustainability or with some sort of office of engineering. So that's kind of how I tackled it. And one of the techniques I use, and I've heard it mentioned on the call before, is, really establishing rapport. So immediately when I called, I didn't try to sound so canned and pitched. And, I owe this a lot to just kind of listening. I've been doing like a lot of reading. I listen to audiobooks. One guy in particular, Jack Canfield, talks a lot about sales and selling and how you speak with people. And I guess initially on the phone, I try to establish a little bit of rapport. Then I tell the person that I respect their time, and I just ask them to hear me out. And I think one of the main reference points that I use, again, I want to shout out Lino for his energy CD, because those scripts are phenomenal. The scripts that he's gone over on this call are phenomenal, and that played a huge role, and it was just pretty much a rip-off and duplicate of that.
Awesome. So once again, it's just really trial and error. You were determined. You made the determination to go after this market. You educated yourself. You tried some smaller deals through your warm market, and you got familiar with the process. You kind of worked on your language, the sales, how you position it. And, of course, you followed Mr. Lino Solis's advice in terms of some good scripts to get in the door. So it's outstanding. Now, just to give people, how many points was the deal so that everyone can know?
This deal was 300 points.
300 points. So you're now part of the 200-point club, and you'll receive part of that 200 points every month, which is, I heard rumors. I'm not in it personally, but I've heard from people like Jasper Brewster, Dr. Jasper Brewster, that it's in the 2,000 to 3,000 range, depending on the month. So you can look forward to that. So that's awesome. I know you're looking forward to that. And also, so what kind of, I guess we know it's 1%. So over time, monthly, was it a 2, 3, 4, 5 year deal? How long was it?
This particular deal, it looks like for the most part this is a 1 year deal. However, it looks like that may be extended. The customer, and that was, I think, simply due to the numbers and how they worked out. But the customer, I think one of the, and I also, of course, I want to thank I forgot to thank Diversity. Diversity actually did close this deal. And I definitely want to give it back up to Alex Rodriguez. One thing that really helps when you want to go after a large deal is also having a great relationship with the broker company, whether it's America Approved or Diversity, because the way Alex talks to the customer, he really establishes a very, very good rapport. He was phenomenal, and I think the customer felt so comfortable that, and I do want to say this to everybody out there, we don't need to be experts. We just need to be experts in what we do. It's just like with everything else, it's a peak in the past. So I was able to pique the customer's interest just enough so that they were willing to talk a little bit further. And then at that point, when they started asking about meters and solar panels and contracts and agency agreements, that's when I immediately, set up an appointment for them to speak directly with Alex. And then from there, my job was kind of just to drive it. So I think part of the main component is just the rapport that Alex shared with the customer, and I think that's what led to this. So, but yeah, this one in particular is a 1 year deal, but they definitely made it no secret that they wanted to establish a very, very long relationship, and we're jumping into more states that this customer is in.
Awesome. Well, Lino just popped on. Hey, Lino, I unmuted your line. We have National Director Ricardo on the line, who just now took over the distinction of closing the largest deal in our company. And, and what I'm excited is watching Ricardo on Facebook, I knew and I had heard he was going crazy on energy after he heard Karen on the phone. He closed that deal that day. And so it's great to see it come full circle, knowing that, not only did he listen to your script and your CD and your information, he applied it, and now he's closed the largest deal. So, and what I love about these property management companies, guys, and some of these deals is the deals that's the largest so far is a sampling that they give us to try us out. And the fact that, like Karen's deal, there's more in the pipeline to come. And, of course, there's got to be a combination of the right pricing, the right time, and the right situation. But it's just great to know that this is just a small sampling, and you already closed the largest deal. So I think the sky's the limit, Ricardo. Great. I mean, I knew, and I saw you working at it very hard and diligent, and it's exciting to see that you get the success you're having now. And I want people to know it just didn't happen, though. You didn't just luck into it. One day, just happened to make the right call. You worked hard at it. You got a lot of things that didn't work out, including some things that look like they're going to close. And you didn't get discouraged. You just kept going. So, Lino, you on the line? You want to open up and say hello to everybody and greet Ricardo?
Good morning, I'm blessed. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Lino. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. I'm reaching out to the team right now via my Power Play speaker. So, and it's you guys are coming out clearly, and you sound great, and very excited about using my Power Play right now. Ricardo, big love to you, brother. We've gone back and forth, and I knew you were focused. This man is an amazing student, and now he's at the level of teacher. Very excited about those 300 points. That's absolutely crazy. I'm sure your upline ND or SVP is excited about that also. As we said, when Uncle Les said that we all need to take action with respect to this commercial energy, this was the purpose. This was the process. I mean, Ricardo and his team are living exactly what the purpose was with respect to putting this thing out there and capitalizing on this amazing movement of wealth and this amazing shift of wealth. 300 customer points. That's absolutely amazing. And that now puts Ricardo in the 200 customer club, where I think there are only 7, maybe 8 partners in the 200 customer club, and that check gets cut every month. And in fact, when you're at Nationals in January, that check will be cut that Friday. So it's always good to be at Nationals and get your 200 customer club check to cover hotel bills and dinner bills, etc. But much respect and much love to what you've done. And the key here is, as we often say with respect to this opportunity, is to duplicate the process and duplicate the effort and share your success with your team. Because now what Ricardo can do is now take his team and teach them exactly what he just did. And now that's what we're talking about with respect to building a massive distribution base by which we can deliver this product and service. So if we duplicate this across the country, across tens of thousands of business partners, you can imagine the type of wealth that we're going to create. And when we look at the idea of getting paid on gas and electric within our communities, it's never happened in the United States. It certainly has never happened in our dense markets across the U.S. So, Uncle Les, I'm very excited about where we are. I'm very excited about Ricardo's success and his partners here in the New York area. And the idea is for us to continue to duplicate that process across a massive, massive distribution base. Congratulations again, Ricardo.
Thank you so much, Lino. Thank you so much. And of course, you've been there. We've spoken many times. I've seen you at our events, man. And I definitely want to give it back up to you for just lending your advice. And that's what I love about this company. Especially to all the new partners and maybe even some of the guests listening on. The phenomenal thing about this company is, Lino and I are on the same team per se, but we're definitely all family, and that's what I absolutely love about this business is that, we're able to learn from each other, and there's just a great feeling of camaraderie because, we are family. So I really definitely appreciate that, Lino.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 110%. Absolutely.
Awesome. Hey, Ricardo, I'm going to ask you just because, we got a lot of people listening and they're trying to get an idea. They know the 300-point puts you in the 200-point club. So as I would be remiss as the finance person that I am to not try to give everyone a little flavor about what your residual will be. So what we're going to do is tell me what's the total, I guess, is it an electric deal that you closed or a gas deal?
The majority of this is electric.
And so what was the actual total number, I guess, so far in terms of what usage is on an annual basis?
Since this is so big, there were actually 2 components to this deal. So I guess we'll get to the nitty-gritty. There were 2 components to this deal because in the way that this property management company was structured, they actually these were 6 apartment communities that they control, actually 7, but one of them was not in a deregulated city. So these were 6 apartment communities, and of these 6, 3 were owned directly by this particular company, and then the other 3 were owned by a subsidiary. So the estimates that they gave me were actually just a guess. I'm actually going to pull up the numbers that they gave me. I'm not getting paid on all of it because some of these contain residential meters, obviously since this is a residential business. But there were over, I think they said there were actually a total of about 1,500 accounts. But even then, I was still getting paid on about 100 accounts. So in terms of the kilowatt usage, I think it was 2.1 million kilowatt hours.
Wow. 2.1 kilowatt hours, and of course everyone knows we multiply it by something. It could be 0.07, I don't know what the actual rate they got quoted, but just simply said, let me say it's 1 cent, and we just give an estimation. That's, 1 cent times 2 million is, what is that, $200,000? So, I mean, everywhere you cut it, it's a lot of residual every month. So, you're talking significant, probably potentially 4 to 5 figures monthly residuals on one transaction. So it's worth the trials and tribulations and the hard work you put in. But either way, it is just the beginning. So understand the magnitude of this deal. So Ricardo, great job. I mean, you're talking about getting paid substantially on this deal. And guess what? If you can close this deal, Ricardo, are you now in position to know what other property managers and companies, because you now have a closed deal in your arsenal, to go and position yourself even more so with some of the other property managers. And number two is, did the property manager you just closed, I bet you he might be interested in overriding other property managers. Have you had those discussions?
Right. Yeah, we're getting everything into place. So, as a matter of fact, I think I know Lino is familiar with this process. I think this is the final component, because this is, of course, the first major deal that's been closed. But I believe the final component is that the company actually has to, sign the W-9 forms, which they just did. They're still confirming everything in terms of where we're going to go from here. But yes, absolutely. I'm also very much involved with Century Payments in terms of merchant processing. So, of course, I kind of told them, put a birdie in the ear that I was working on this. And, of course, they want to see if we can kind of do something with them as well. So everything is phenomenal. Wow. Very, very exciting. So, yeah, absolutely. We're just trying to strategize and figure out what the next best step is.
Awesome. So now you're going to leverage the success and the relationship to open the doors in another major segment of our business, which is Century Payments and credit card processing. And where, too, you can now get someone assigned to you, and you can tag team to approach and position that product and that service well in the business. So, Ricardo, job well done. Now you're a national director, right? So these were nice to get a big 300-point push towards your senior vice president. Yes or no?
Absolutely. And whether people out there are national director or not, these points, or not just the points. First off, the points, the 200 customer club is phenomenal. Even the 100 customer club is phenomenal. But the residuals that you can get, even at the level of an IMR, is great. I don't know of any other opportunity you can get involved with, even though I'm not going to say it was easy. But with one transaction or just a few transactions, you could, land this sort of continuous money. So I definitely, want all the partners out there to know that, pretty much the sky's the limit. Don't limit yourself. Really study what it takes to be successful and learn from, yourself, learn from Lino, learn from, everybody else who has, done what you're trying to do, and really just follow the process. Are you still there, Uncle Les? Did we lose Uncle Les?
Sorry about was muting myself. I mute myself because my son is here today and taking him to a holiday event. But what I would say, what I just said, you guys didn't hear. I said, I know what I want everyone to understand, because we have a lot of new people on the call, and we do get individuals who are looking at this opportunity, and I'm sure this recording is going to go out to many, many people. But I want everyone to understand that closing the deal as an IMR, someone just come into this business, you get 50%. It's on the commercial residual plan, which means if you close a deal, whether you're IMR or RSVP or any position in this company, you close a deal, you get 50% of that residual. So as you, the closer of this deal, whether you're national director or not, you will get that 50%. And then you will get the ET, ED, and ND because it was you closing the deal. So you're going to get a lion's share of that residual, of this 4 or 5 figure residual base when it gets done and set. So monthly, by the way, on top of the four-figure customer club of being a 200-point customer club. So this was definitely a deal that's going to get you paid substantially in this business. And you started, let me ask you a question. You started just like everybody else in this business, and you paid, well, probably not, I think you came in when it was $4.99, but right now you paid $249 to have an opportunity to close a deal like this. I don't know many opportunities like this, and I don't know, and I can't, and it's just an amazing thing to be able to be part of this process. So that's why you have attorneys like Lino Solis, who are Thomas Felder, professionals, entertainers, coming into this business because they want to get paid on a $500 billion entity. So we're excited. Ricardo, you're an example. I'd love for you to hang around, and we're going to take some questions from everybody because, this is exciting to know that first Karen and then you have closed substantial deals. And the beautiful thing about it is, most people say, well, you were well connected going into this. No, it was hard work. It was perseverance. And it was the determination and decision made after you were on this call and heard Karen close the biggest deal and how she did it, and you went out and did it yourself. So congratulations, Ricardo. Job well done. I'm very proud of you to be part of the team and be a partner with you. And let me tell you, I may not benefit directly from you, but as a shareholder of 5 Links, I would like to thank you for closing one of our largest energy deals today. So that said, guys, I'm going to open up the line. *6 if you have questions for Lino, National Director. His team's the #1 team in this company closing these deals. And now the gentleman who just closed the largest energy deal in 5 Links. So, guys, you have a question for them? National Director Ricardo Suber. So if you got a question for the two gentlemen and myself, we'll be more than happy to entertain it. *6. And, guys, I'll leave your lines unmuted, and we'll take your questions now. Of course. Now, I'm loving this because the first person to pop up on the queue is your Senior Vice President, Mr. LaRod Smalls. And I know he's loving those points because as Senior Vice President, these points count towards our run towards platinum of 15,000 points. So you just knocked out a nice point total, and you have a prospect that could bring so much more to the table. So, Mr. Senior Vice President, I'll open the line and let you talk. How you doing, Mr. LaRod Smalls, Senior Vice President out of Brooklyn, New York? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Awesome, I can hear you. Awesome, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Nice. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate that, Uncle Les, man. It's an awesome call this morning, and I'm absolutely excited about it. And also, I want to, before I say my comment, I want to give a huge hats off to Lino. That's my guy. I tell you that Lino is a very, very special, selfless guy who has paved the way and really opened it up to give people that confidence. Because like my mentor says, once people realize it's possible, anything is possible. And because of some of the stuff that he's done, really supercharged my team. Quite some time ago, he jumped on a call for me in the midday, and he kind of just broke down his process for getting commercial deals. And gentlemen like Ricardo Suber, when they hear information that just makes sense, they convert it into dollars. And that's exactly what he did. And, I say this publicly to Ricardo, we just, we're in the trenches. The nuts and bolts of this thing is just being consistent. But this guy really has a tenacious attitude of never give up, never say die. And he just does the basics every single day. He's on the line. He's looking up companies. He's doing research. He's constantly in the know. He's constantly on the call. And he's one of those people that never have excuses. And that's the difference between people who say that they could get it done and the people who actually do get it done. And, really, I would love to say there's something so special about Ricardo, but truthfully, it really is not. He's just an average guy just like anybody else, but he does unaverage things, being that he's committed to himself and his business by just driving hard. I know that any other senior vice president, platinum, double platinum, doesn't matter who you are, you're looking for Ricardo Subers all day. That's all you're looking for all day is people who are just committed to themselves and willing to do what it takes to just go go that extra mile and have the results that they're dreaming about. So I definitely wanted to share that with you guys. And if you're on this team as a new leader, and you've got a group, and you guys are wanna move to the next level, I would tell you is to find something and focus on it. Find something, and whatever to your heart's content, whatever it is that's making the most sense to you, whether it's merchant services or working with energy. Make some relationships, right? Get focused and make some relationships. Make some relationships with an Alex Rodriguez or the other guys over at Diversity or the other energy partners. Make those relationships, because I'm going to tell you, relationships is what matters. And because Ricardo Suber had such a fantastic relationship with those powerful leaders like Alex over at Diversity, that's what made it happen, right? Just because he wasn't an expert in energy, but he knew how to get a dominant player on the call to make that happen. So whatever your field, whatever you want to focus on, make sure you find somebody in that area that's an expert, make a relationship with them, and use them to help leverage their expertise and energy to help you have the success you're looking for. So I'm not going to hold you guys too much longer. I'm really excited about all the points that Ricardo has put in the system, but I'm going to tell you, I'm more excited about the future. I'm more excited about the conversation I had with Alex about the potential of this deal. I'm more excited about what Ricardo has shared with me recently about his upcoming deals. So you guys will be looking forward to seeing his name on the charts, and I'm really excited about watching him go across that stage in New Orleans. And I'm just waiting for every single one of us on this call to follow suit. So thanks, Uncle Les, man, for having me on the call, man. Keep rocking and rolling. It's because of this call so many people are excited and are producing results.
Mr. Smalls, let me tell you, brother, we came up the ranks together. We AD, SVP together, so it's great to see that success under you. I'm so happy for you. And like I said, as a shareholder of this company, thank you for putting that genetic together, because 5 Links is going to get paid and we're going to get paid. But I want to also point out another power of our business, a powerful message we need to send. I want to once again acknowledge our brother, fallen brother, Mr. Dave Diamond Cox, who is the gentleman who recruited you, and as a senior vice president. So you fall into his organization, which is now under his lovely wife and daughters, who are taking on his legacy. And now because this deal is closing, his position will too benefit, even though he's no longer with us, but this deal will benefit his family for years to come. So once again, that's the power of this business, ladies and gentlemen, that we're building something for the future, a legacy, and this residual income will continue to come in whether we're here or not. So that's why we work hard for this, and that's why a gentleman like Ricardo is able to make things happen by determination and hard work and perseverance, and not willing to take no for an answer. Okay, so once again, wanted to point that out to, once again, how powerful this can be, that someone like a Dave Diamond Cox Legacy Foundation will now benefit. His family will benefit from something he started, and that he recruited a wonderful, exciting businessman like Laurent Smalls, who then recruited a national director and businessman in Ricardo Suber, who has now closed the largest transaction in energy in 5 Links. So I want everyone to take note of that. We're talking significant residual income. We're talking significant commissions. We're talking significant opportunities to leverage future business. This is a business that we are not playing with. And those of you, if you're on this line listening to this, or anyone you share it with, understand where we stand today. This is unprecedented stuff where ordinary individuals could make extraordinary income. So thank you, Laurent. I love you, my brother. Look forward to getting the platinum with you and being at the top of this compensation plan, because we've done it all along. You know, as I said, we were ETs together, EDs together, NDs together, now we're SVP, and we will be platinum and diamonds together, because Tupac Domenico has set the stage for us, and we're just following suit. And as well as Lino and Ricardo, all of us, we're going to be at the top. And that's why I love this business. There's room for all of us. And there's big deals to come. The biggest deal has not yet closed yet. So you out there on this phone call, you could be the next one. You could be the next Ricardo, because Ricardo heard Karen a lady out of Long Island closed a big deal, and he went out and made it happen. So you two can now go out, and 6 months, a year from now, we could be telling your story on this. Now, you closing the 500-point deal, the 1,000-point deal, because they're going to go down. It's going to happen. So thank you, Lorado. Just hang on. I'd love for you to hang on. I'll leave you unmuted in case anybody has a question of the upline SVP. And, guys, we'll take our questions of everybody else. Hold on. Okay, you're on the line.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, this is Executive Trainer Sonia out in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania area. And I just wanted to say good morning, Uncle Les, and I really appreciate your morning vitamin calls. It's very much needed medicine. And second of all, I would like to give kudos to Mr. Ricardo Soonberg. Congratulations. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you. And I just wanted to let you know that I do appreciate you giving me the Dropbox information on the Energy 101 class, and I took your advice, and I was in class all day yesterday, absorbing all the information that Lino was giving to me yesterday. And third, I would like to finally say thank you. I finally got a chance to actually hear Lino's voice on the telephone and not through the computer. So, and much needed information. It just helped me a whole lot of unanswered questions, took the fear out the game. So now I know what I have to do to really push this deal that I have planned on going on up here in the Lehigh Valley area. And I also want to thank my Senior Vice President Murat for getting on a call. I know you were feeling a little bit under the weather last night, so I'm glad you got on a call, and I hope you feel better real soon, okay? And that's all I wanted to say. Just thank you guys, and I appreciate you guys, and I just love my 5 family. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Awesome. Keep those deals coming, everybody. Keep them coming. Thank you. Our next caller, you're on with...
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Suver and Lira Small. Go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, great. Yes, I just had a question in regards to, when you spoke of, developing relationships with people within the energy company. Are you referring to, sort of reaching out to diversity or people within, energy, like the experts, and just kind of developing a rapport? Could you elaborate more on that, actually?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was talking into the mute button. So you mentioned just in terms of how you would establish rapport over the phone or when you speak with the decision maker?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And it's very, very simple. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of, I look at a lot of the similarities just between this particular product and also merchant processing. I know this is the commercial energy call, but there are a lot of similarities in that when you speak to a potential customer or the decision maker, you want to separate yourself from the typical person who might walk up in that establishment or might call them on the phone. And I think probably the biggest challenge in cold calling or, even in your warm market, because let's just say, you happen to know somebody at a particular restaurant or even someone who's high up at a restaurant or university or what have you. Typically, that person is not the decision maker when it comes to whatever service you're trying to close. So if it's commercial energy, typically they're not the person who's over that. So you still might have to, I guess, warm them up a little bit. And one thing that I do is I try to sound friendly on the phone. A good technique is to actually practice, just kind of smiling. So if you're smiling, as you're speaking to someone, many times it comes out in your voice. So that's kind of one technique. Another thing that I do, and I consider this probably a part of rapport building as well, is to first tell them that I respect their time. I know they're understandably busy. Depending on how rushed they might sound or how rushed they may seem to be, I may say, I might pay them a compliment. I might tell them, hey, by the way, I saw an article or a phenomenal write-up about you or about this company on Forbes, and I'm telling the truth, but this is usually based on how I found them, or I'll pay them a compliment. So, for instance, with the supermarket, that we almost closed, but they did agree to an analysis. The very first thing that I said was, well, you know what? First off, I got to say that I am probably your biggest fan. I absolutely love the supermarket. When I first moved to this area in New York, this is the first place that I came to. So first off, I wanted to say that. So, you know, a lot of times you can kind of warm people up. You don't want to, patronize them, but that can help. So you do kind of want to make it genuine, but you want to keep it quick. And then I move into the whole spiel, and I introduce myself. I say, just like Lino has said countless times in this call, I'm working with a group of people that can save you a significant amount on your gas and electricity. And what we're doing, it's a free analysis. It's at no cost to you. So I emphasize that, and I emphasize the fact that it's no obligation. And so when that customer, when they tip it from there, you usually know if you can carry it forward or not right at that point. If they let you continue to talk, then that's a good thing. I try not to say too much, but if they cut you off, or if they're combative, or if they say, no, usually I don't take a lot of time to try to convince them, because this is a popular quote: a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So if you try to convince someone to do an analysis, then typically that's going to go in the wrong direction. So this is what I typically do. I put them, if they say, for instance, I'm in a contract, there are a lot of common objections. Diversity used to have a training out there. I don't believe it's out there anymore, but there was a training that they had called Overcoming Objections. And one of the most common ones is when a company says, well, I'm already in a contract. A lot of big companies are already in a contract. So basically, once again, and Lino has a great comeback for this as well, is you say, hey, well, we just want to see, if you guys are potentially overpaying, this would be a phenomenal way to see. And in a way, you're almost calling their bluff. So a lot of people are like, I don't know. Usually at that point, I say, well, hey, look, you know what? I would actually like to get you to speak to one of my senior brokers. So it's usually at that point you want to use and leverage your relationship with Diversity and/or America Approved, and that's when you want to set up a conference call so that person can speak directly to the people who can actually answer the harder questions and actually close the deal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely. So it's pretty much trial and error. You gotta really get out. I mean, I think the main component is getting out there, work on your smaller deals, get used to collecting LOAs, and really kind of get your feet wet. I never really suggest that someone go out there and try to close the biggest deal. That was my goal from the outset, but I realized that I had to really kind of get my feet wet and really understand the process.
Yeah, because I'm actually a new rep, and struggling a little bit, but I know that if I'm persistent, and I stick with it, and I start small, like you said, and I have the big goals in mind, and the big goals, the dreams of closing the big deals. The information I give you is helpful, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely, no problem.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay. We'll go to our next caller.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead. We can hear you.
I want to say congratulations to the gentleman that closed the big energy deal. But I also like to have a question to ask regarding for one who is just starting out studying the energy and what it takes to do that. What would you recommend, or one of the experts recommend, for that person to do? The first initial thing that we should get interested in doing.
Okay.
Lino, you want to jump in real quick and give him?
Yeah, there we go.
Lino, go ahead. Lino has a great way to get started. Go ahead, Lino.
For the new team member that really wants to tackle these great big deals the way Ricardo just closed, you want to first start out. You certainly want to be trained to the Platinum Senior Vice President in terms of your basics. And then obviously you want to be trained in energy, get energy certified. Close out your 25 customer points, okay? Knock out the very, very basic stuff. And then move towards your 50 customer points through the various services. And then what you want to do is just write your list. You want to write your list of potential customers. Who do you know that that manages a restaurant? Who do you know that manages a church, etc. In the various markets, in the various warm markets, deregulated markets. And then you begin to attack that based on who you have relationships with within these markets. So you want to knock out the absolute basics. Get trained to Platinum Senior Vice President. Get energy certified. Get your 25 minimum customer points out the way and start working towards your 50 customer points. As I tell you, before I closed these deals, I had north of 70 personal customer points with respect to, global links, cell phones, internet, all the basic services. And that gets you comfortable with the conversation, and it sort of gives you your armor, if you will, to do the type of transactions that Ricardo just did, because I can guarantee you that Ricardo and his team, I know how these guys operate here in New York. They have their 25, 50 personal, small customer points knocked out the box. They're all trained to Platinum Senior Vice President. They've all obviously are energy certified. So get the basic stuff out the way. And then once you get that out the way, then you want to start to, just work your list. Your list is your capital. Just your memory joggers with respect to who owns the restaurant, who owns the dry cleaners, runs the church, et cetera, and then you start from your warm market, your lukewarm, and then your cold, and just attack it, and that will give you your first transaction. It's just as Ricardo just outlined. He started with his warm, and then when those deals didn't close, he went to his cold and warmed up his cold and closed 300 plus customer points. So that's my recommendation in terms of partners that are just getting started.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. I just want to reiterate that it's always, the tough one is the first one to go out there. That's why it's good that you go to your warm market, someone you know. It's hard to do and talk about something you're not as familiar with. And definitely when you do the smaller deals or deals that you start to get to know, a little bit bigger deals, that's when you start to build a relationship with the broker too. So that when the big opportunity comes, you're ready, you have a relationship with the broker, you're familiar with the process, and you work on, you talk to some, different people, and you got different objectives, you're probably ready. So it's very key to just take that first step, which is always the hardest one. But do it with someone you know, that makes it easier. All right, so we go to our next caller.
Good day, Uncle Les. How are you today, and everybody?
Good. We hear you. Go ahead.
Well, the questions that I wanted to ask has already been answered for me, but I thank you, and everybody have a blessed day. This is your daddy from Louisville.
Awesome. Thank you. We got our next caller. Hello, you're on the line. You got to unmute yourself. I think it's Bernice.
Yes, from Boston. Can you hear me?
Hi, Bernice. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm calling from Boston. I just want to say congratulations to Rico on his success. Good job. Well done. I remember Rico telling me when I had 37 points, oh, you have more points than he did, but now he is over the top. I'm in his upline, and I thank him for the training that he gave to us.
All right, thank you so much, Bernice. Bernice, for those of you guys who don't know who Bernice is a superstar on our team. Bernice is someone who definitely inspired me. And what I love about this business is a term that we called taprooting, because we're constantly taprooting each other on our team. Bernice actually hit 50 points. She was the first one to do that on my particular team, and she has just been a shining light, and has just been someone who, ever since got started, has never ever been afraid to talk to a customer, utilizing her relationships. And she's just another force that I've used. Even though she's in my downline, she's someone who continuously motivates me. She's always positive. The entire, we have a pretty nice downline in the Boston, Massachusetts area. So I want to shout out definitely not only all of our team, but all of our Boston team. They're doing a phenomenal job out there. It's where a lot of our points are coming from. And I definitely want to give it back up to you, Bernice, for continuing to stay positive and just doing phenomenally well in this business. So I look forward to you closing some of these big deals too. I know they're coming.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Awesome, Bernice. Good job, Bernice. Thank you. We got our next caller. Hello, you must be muted. Yeah, go ahead. We hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, this is Jamal Riley from Albany, Georgia. First of all, Uncle, I want to thank you for the vitamin call. I'm on every day. This is my first time actually asking a question, but I'm on every day. It's been really helpful to me as far as getting my knowledge up and keep being inspired. Keeping it pushing. Secondly, I'm thankful for the energy call. Congratulations to Ricardo. Ricardo Subo on your deal, man. That's phenomenal. That's beyond phenomenal. Earlier in the call, I remember somebody mentioned something about Lino has a script out. I mean, where can I find that?
Lino, are you still on the call?
Yeah, Lino's still on. Hey, Lino, why don't you give him your email so they can reach out to you?
Yeah, you can reach out to me directly at solicelino@gmail.com. solicelino@gmail.com. And then I could shoot you, a few scripts that we use and a memorandum that we use that we got from out. And remember, guys, this is all on the YouTube with respect to what Diversity has in terms of training material. So you could go on YouTube. There's plenty of the training material that Diversity has. And then also in your back office, there's tons and tons and tons of stuff that Filinx has put together in our back office with respect to energy. But certainly feel free to reach out to me and I'll help in whatever way I can with respect to any shortcuts.
Okay, thank you. My second question is, I'm energy certified, yes, but I actually don't live in an energy market. I think the closest energy market to me is about 2.5 hours away, which is none. So I don't have any warm market energy potentials. So I guess my techniques that I really need to, I guess, to kind of learn are really cold, if you know what I mean.
Well, with regard to cold, Ricardo, I think that's a question for you. I like to start with hot, warm, lukewarm, and then move to cold. But Ricardo, I think you've had some great success with cold, so I'll pass that to you.
Okay, great. Well, my question to the caller is, I'm sorry, what's your name?
Jamal.
All right, Jamal. Well, first off, it even takes a lot of courage to call in on this call, because I remember when I first, especially for my first several months in this business, I listened to the call, but I didn't really dare ask a question. But sometimes it's just taking that first step to actually just speak up. So I want you to kind of applaud yourself for that, pat yourself on the back. And I think that's what it takes to even start to close one of these deals and kind of put it on the table. And part of it is just speaking up. And when you really think about it, we at least all have some sort of a warm market. Maybe not a hot market, or maybe, but kind of at least a lukewarm market, because we all eat. We all go to restaurants. We all go to stores. Even if we don't have a family or friend who owns the place, we still consume products. We get our hair cut. We go to many of these establishments. So Typically, the businesses that I have approached and I've seen the most success with have been mom and pop stores, places that are single location or they're a small chain if they're not a large franchise. Typically, it's much easier to locate the decision maker. So I would start with places such as, laundromats, barbershops, hair salons. You can talk to family members, see what businesses they frequent on a consistent basis. Because when we do business with them, and I've heard Uncle Les say this all the time, when we frequently put money in other people's pockets, and then when you turn around and ask them for a favor, you can say that with a little bit more strength. And you could say, hey, look, I've been coming here for years. You do the best shape-ups, or you make the best casserole. Listen, I think I have a way that you can save a whole lot of money. I've heard Lino say that a number of times, where you could just leverage those relationships that you've already built throughout the years and really use that to try to close some of these deals. So hopefully that helps.
Okay. Well, that's all I got. Thank you, man. Thank you all.
No problem.
You got to remember, guys, it's not just your warm market. If you're not in an energy place, or you have family and friends that live in an energy market, but you just talk to them, find out who they frequent, and maybe have them try to refer those people to you. And once again, that's a warm handoff. So, all right, we got our next caller. You're on the line?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. You're on the line. Go ahead. We hear you.
Okay. I actually wanted to ask, and I think this question may have already been answered. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I have a multi-millionaire who owns a company, and I think 40. He has 40 different locations all across the country. And it's $100 billion company he owns. It's like a technology company. However, my dad, it's actually my dad's partner, like his friend. And I'm not sure on how to best. I talk to him every once in a while. It's kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes, but sometimes when I do talk to him, I don't know how to approach him with the deal. And if I could just get just some information or some advice on how to address that matter for energy.
This is your dad.
Do you want to take that?
This is your dad's business partner?
Well, I mean, a friend. Just a good friend of his.
Okay, so he's a close friend of your dad.
Yes.
Okay,
and I talk to him every once in a while as well.
Okay, your dad knows what you're doing, right?
Yes, I just like
right.
Right.
Okay, so then your dad can make that connect. Your dad is a great entry point to this multi-millionaire in terms of offering him, your business. Your dad is positive about your business?
Yes, actually, I just locked down 3 energy deals 2 days ago through my dad for residential.
So there you go. I mean, that's the easy fix. It's like, Dad, you know what I'm doing. Your partner, your good friend, has all these locations. Let's expand our footprint, and let's help him save. We're going to put money back in his pocket because this is potentially cash that he's putting out into the street, and we can help him bring some of that money back. We can tell you that all these deals that we close, people are saving money. They're saving tons and tons and tons of money. So they're not going to sign the deal if they're not going to save money. So it's clear that you have the capacity right now to save your dad's business partner some money, or at least do an analysis on his property. This guy is a business owner. He's going to want to know, based on his bottom line, how he can put more cash in his pocket and then leverage that capital. So I think it's an easy story to tell. Dad, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. Let's go to the next person. That's an easy one. That's a slam dunk.
Wow. Thanks a lot, man.
Excellent.
All right, next caller.
Yeah, great morning, everyone. Great morning. Who left? Lino? Keith Williams on the line. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Keith. Let's get all those supers, man. Come on.
Brother Lino. Great morning, everyone. I'm really I'm perpetually enthusiastic and excited. It doesn't matter, setbacks, projections, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just listening to Joel Osteen last night. My issue is Lino has been very generous with his time. He's helped me out and talked to me a little bit. There's a church. I'm born and raised right down the block. I've spent a lot of time establishing a good relationship. I'm looking at them, of course, first for links to funds and for energy, et cetera, et cetera. I've invested a lot of time to establish a relationship. What went wrong, I take responsibility. Not wrong, but I made an error. I was trying to get them to do the cost analysis and save energy. And I don't know if this applies to this, because I think this is a commercial energy call, but I just wanted to know how I can heal this. I was telling them we do the free cost analysis, and I thought that we were supposed to take and bring their bills in and get it and do the free cost analysis. But then what I didn't know was that because most of their heat is on the boiler with oil, most of the heat is on oil, their bill is only like about $2,000, which goes into the small business portal. Correct? Is that correct, Lino?
Yeah, that's correct. That's a small deal, so you're not going to get a proposal on that one.
Right. So as Lino coached me on that, it didn't go through. They were kind of happy with their rates, but they couldn't get any more than a year or two on either the gas or the electric. They've been around for 110 years. They don't like that short time frame with a short bill. And the woman I went to do this is dealing with some old timers set in their ways. So it took a lot of pulling teeth just to get them to look at it. I'm looking at them for links to funds, building God's kingdom. I'm looking to them for one or two business partners. What kind of language shall I use just to try to smooth it over? As far as she went to them to pull teeth to do something, and they can't get more than 1 or 2 years. Is there anything you could suggest I do to try to smooth it? Because I got a lot of resistance in my neighborhood. They really set in their ways. Thank you.
Well, let me jump in real quick and we'll turn over to Lino and Ricardo. But since you're positioning it with links to funds, which is a smart move, one of the things they could not get paid, part of the links to funds products and services is the commercial energy. So even though it's 1 year, the church is now getting paid a commission on its own deal, and it doesn't cost them anything to set the program up. So that should be the fact that they can now only lock in 1 year, but now they can receive commission back to the church should be a selling point. Nice. You need to hit them with that. Okay? And the second thing is you got other services they can make money off of now. They got the commercial energy can be the first transaction, but then they've got credit card processing. So your real approach there should be, and you could be on tomorrow to find out about that, but it should be also the fact that they can now, if they, is the church using a debit or credit card? Do they take debit or credit cards? Or is it I have not seen that yet. And like I said, originally they bought me because they said a lot of their old timers don't know about technology, so they don't know how many of their service they can sell. Well, but I don't know. Well, they do know about increase in time. And you could document, it is documented that when they accept debit and credit card, they'll receive more because people don't always have enough cash on them. So they're going to increase their giving. Considering the economy right now, I wouldn't be surprised if their tithing this year is down from last year or prior year. So anything that can help raise revenue, yeah, there you go. They can get paid on it. And then the last thing is show them text marketing. I would do show them text marketing and tie it. When I do now, I do the name of the church and show them that, how it works. But I would also put a little piece in there about commercial energy, maybe click the link to the website to show how easily they can attach something that could be passed on to everyone. And they might be excited about that. So between those two things, I think that'll open up the door to getting the commercial energy. Use that as a lead. Links to funds is definitely the way to go, okay? Perfect. Does it cost them nothing to get involved, all right? Building God's kingdom, really, right? Well, you can do Building God's kingdom, but you could also print out the list of funds presentation. We do have a copy of some of them as well. So, but Village Activity is a good start. You can send them to, but you could also have the PowerPoint of the presentation in case you sit down with them. So either way works. But there's a video that's the Building Conference Kingdom. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Uncle Les and Lino. Thank you.
Take care. No problem. Okay, well, let's go. We got a couple more callers because I have to head out the door. And I know these guys, gentlemen here, I got to go close large transactions because Ricardo's going. He's probably going to close a few more today because he doesn't play. Anyway, real quick, you guys. Hello, you're on the line.
Yes, this is Executive Trainer Randy Sharp from Michigan. How are you?
Great, go ahead.
This is actually my first time on the call. I really enjoyed it, you all. I'm learning a lot. Now I have a question. A few of my business partners and I actually planned on going to a few commercial accounts today just to work the business, get our feet wet. But as far as building the relationships with Diversity and other people who have done this before, how do we get their contact information, or how would you say that we build that rapport so that way we're not selling them like we are the deal?
Well, Lino, this is interesting because the company switched up, and we have to usually submit a deal to the main private portal. But what you can do is reach out to me, and then we'll talk to Lino and figure out, because you have to. That's why it's important to submit some deals and get it assigned to somebody. And once you're assigned to them, you can keep talking to them. You build a relationship. Okay?
Right.
Reach out to me. My number is 203. I know I got a lot of background. I'm like two people in the same car. That's what's happening. We got a feedback. But 203-274-2728. 203-274-2728. All right, reach out to me and then we'll figure out how to connect you, okay?
I appreciate it. What's your name again, man?
Leslie Durencourt. I'm a collect.
Yeah, I follow you on Facebook, so definitely. Thank you so much.
Awesome, no problem. Okay, we got, I think, two more callers. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning. How you doing? My name is Thomas White from Wilmington, Delaware. I spoke to you a couple times before. The question is this. Right now, I took a page out of Wendy's book, and I got a person from Dunkin' Donuts on a call to listen exactly as to what's going on. I stopped in there and just asked to speak to the manager and, started talking to him about different things and everything like that, and basically got him to understand the process that we can save them money. He listened. He actually, what he did was, he told me if I can do this, it'd be great because, it can help out so many people and things of that nature. He did not give me the LOA number, the LOA form. He would not sign it, but he did give me the last two bills. And I have them. I know I was supposed to have the LOA letter as well, but I'm kind of wondering what it is I could do to get him to understand that I really need the LOA number. The LOA letter to proceed.
Well, what you should do this time, let me help you out. You should definitely connect with maybe someone like Alito or someone at the Diversity or American Proof, because they're going to have to make him feel a little comfortable to get the LOA. So he did the first part. He got the two bills, and if you can get him on the phone, I'd connect. So reach out to me. You got my number. I just gave it out, and then we'll hook up with Lino, and maybe we can put somebody on the phone that makes them feel comfortable. Okay?
Okay, great.
Awesome.
And what's a good time to contact you?
Just give me a few minutes after the call, and then reach out to me. I'll try to figure out between me, Lino, and or I'll just give you a contact at Diversity and reach out. But let's talk first, because right now we got to you got to follow protocol a little bit. So let's figure out what kind of deal, what's going on, and then we'll go from there.
Will do. Okay, thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, we're trying to facilitate you guys out there. We appreciate you making the effort to even ask the questions or go out to attempt to get an account. So, Lino has been great to give his time, and I know Ricardo now is quickly becoming an expert. And, you know, to the extent that we can help you, we're doing it. But you have, you know, we also got to be appreciative of the process right now that 5 Links is trying to establish. So that's why we kind of not giving a generic answer out there. It doesn't like we don't want you to connect, okay? All right, guys, we're going to have our last couple of questions that we're done. Hi, on the line?
Good morning, Les and Lino. This is Greg from Detroit. When you go into a business and they're in a contract already, what do you do or say? Hello? Hello?
Lino, did you hear that? He said they're in the contract already. A business is in a contract, and I think Ricardo kind of alluded to it in earlier. You know, so Ricardo, you could repeat your answer real quick, or, you know, Lino, they have a contract. What do you say to them to at least try to overcome that objection?
Well, if they're in a contract already, one of the things we say is, no, you know, and I've learned this from Alex directly. You know, it's, you know, no problem. I'm glad that you're in a contract, but I tell you what we can do is just analyze what you're paying already, so that when that contract expires, we can be in line to, you know, tee you up with a good price point, or, you know, there may be an opportunity for us to, you know, provide you a lower price point now, and it might make sense to terminate that contract. But either way, let's just do an analysis. It's not going to cost you a dime. There's no obligation. And then we can see what you're paying currently, and then maybe be in a good position when that contract expires to give you even a better price than what you're currently paying.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. We just got a couple more. I see people, and we're done. Hi, Miss Leah, out of California. You have the dynamic New York team on the line. Go ahead.
Good morning, Uncle Les, Lino, and Ricardo. One quick question. I'm on the back office in the virtual documents, and I'm looking up energy. My question is, say, for instance, California. We don't have commercial energy in all areas. Is there a list that we can go to that without having to try and enroll the customer to see if it's available in that area?
Yes, there is a list in your virtual office of all the markets that we serve commercial energy, and it actually covers the utilities there that markets that the competitors compete against. So there is a list there for commercial and as well as residential. I don't know what the document number is, but there is an overall list there. So if you do go there, you should be able to print out that list. Yeah, you should be able to find it. It's in the commercial energy. Okay?
Okay.
But if I'm not in front of no problem, I'm not in front of the computer, but if I am later, Leah, I'll shoot you a text where it is, what the document is.
All right. Thank you, Uncle Les.
Awesome.
Just Leah, as a follow-up, yeah, Uncle Les, we were going over that just the other day with a friend of mine in San Francisco. There's a list that outlines all the markets. What we have to fine-tune on the list is where within California will be regulated. That's the part of the list that we just need to fine-tune a little bit more.
Well, I know we have Northern California. We have Northern California for natural gas, and they just added residential now for natural gas in Northern California. As far as I know, Southern California is not doing anything. We do have, they did try the solar energy program. Diversity does do that as well. So you can check that out and see if there's any viability there. But right now, as I know, it's natural gas for residential and commercial in Northern California. So that's what I know exists right now in California.
Right. And I think, Leah, you guys are better able to determine what's southern, what's northern. You're like, where's the cutoff line?
right, Leo, thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Les.
Okay, we got our last caller. Go ahead, you're on the line.
Good morning, Uncle Les and Five Links family. This is Janet in Atlanta. Earlier on, a caller mentioned that there was a class or something that she took. It seemed like it might have been a webinar on energy. I don't know. Can you tell me something about that? Is that something that's an ongoing class?
Well, I think Lena does a training in New York. That's what he was probably talking about. But if you want to see some good training, go to YouTube and type in My Energy Pie. My Energy Pie. Divergity has a number of webinars that they did specifically for us when we got the program started, especially in the beginning. And it's some nice little tips that they give, like even approaching cold market, like Ricardo suggested, a couple of things that he learned. It's all back there. It's still on YouTube. Just do My Energy Pie Diversity, and you'll see diversity video webinars that they webinars that they put online for us to use. Okay, so go to that, and along with your virtual office of all the documentation they have there, and you should be ready to go ahead and if you got a lead to someone, or if you've gone out and done a couple of your small establishments, that's the time to call. You can call me or Lino and try to touch base and say, okay, I'm really going to step up my game. I really need to, specifics, and then we could kind of along the way. But you got to start with understanding the market, and it's a wonderful webinar. So, My Energy Pie in YouTube, okay?
Okay, I appreciate that, and I'm actually working on my third commercial energy deal. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I more. I just want as much as I can get. That's why I called.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think what you're going to find is, you're doing the deals and getting it done. I don't know if they were just small commercials, or are you doing the larger ones with Diversity or America Approved?
They were small commercial, but I am leaning towards a larger commercial. Actually, I'm going to be speaking to a guy that has 6 funeral homes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm moving.
Good. That's the way to go. And then now, then you'll connect with a bro. The thing is, if you can get one of these deals, and then you connect with me or Lino and get on the phone with it, and you submit it and to Five Links, and it gets assigned to America Approved and Diversity. Then you get assigned someone there. Then we can, talk to Johnny Webb. You can talk to Alex Rodriguez, because you've already developed a relationship with them. That's important to get that first deal out of the way, even though if it doesn't close. At least it's positioned you to understand the process. Because Ricardo's right. If he had not done those other deals, he might have dropped the ball initially on this big deal, because you don't know what to say, how to say, you don't know how to facilitate, you're nervous, and the person is just looking for a reason to hang up on you. Because remember, these are busy people. You got to keep them engaged and peaked. And Ricardo was done a lot of transactions. He made a lot of calls. I know this because he was posting it on Facebook, and I was hearing it from his upline. So I'm not surprised he closed this. So, guys, it sounds easy and wonderful. It's a great opportunity, but it is like everything else, every success. I could put Ricardo on anywhere, and he would have been successful because he was determined. He made a decision, and then he went to work. He made a lot of calls. He had a lot of deals that didn't go down. See, you guys hear about the deals that happened. You don't hear about all the deals that didn't work out. He could have easily got discouraged, but he didn't. So, anyway, go at it, and we appreciate you, okay? All right.
I appreciate you.
No problem. All right, guys, I just see one last person who's been very patient. This is absolutely the last caller. You're on the line, and we're going to wrap up. Go ahead.
Good morning, Carla Chappelle from Harlem. Quick question. Would you recommend getting an analysis from a company that's in arrears in their energy? Would that be a waste of time?
Well, that's a good question. Lino?
Ricardo? Get that deal also. Get that deal also, because they can figure out they can get into the payment plan to knock out their old bills. And in fact, that's more of a reason why you want to do an analysis. They're probably in arrears because they're paying too high of a bill. So that's even better sometimes, because we have a client that was paying 22 cents per kilowatt in New York City. That's outrageous, a restaurant. 22 cents. We were able, after we did our analysis, to bring them down to 9 cents. Okay?
Wow.
This is a restaurant that was struggling in Harlem, struggling, and we were able to take them from 22 cents to less than 9 cents. The owner was elated, and talks about it and gives us accolades all over the place. So get that bill also. We'll figure it out. They probably need the service more so than the guy that's paying on time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Have a good day.
Sounds like a lot of free dinners to me. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Okay, guys, thank you for everybody. Thank you for being on the line today. This is a powerful call. If you're going to share this with every individual, I will post it on 5 links, Occupy 5 links. I also, you can call the playback line. It will be on for today, 559-726-1299. 559-726-1299, PIN code 118279#, 118279#. It's basically the same number you're calling in, but it's a 99 instead of a 00 on the normal call-in line. So you can get that recording, share it, recruit with this, because let me tell you, if anybody who's listening to this call and listening to a Ricardo Suber, to a Leroy Small, to a Lino Solis, and not understand how to get paid on this thing and the significance of where we stand today, then they just don't want to make money. So I appreciate it, guys. Any final words? Lino, any final words for everybody out there?
Absolutely, Uncle Les. What I would say to the partners, number one, thank you again, and I appreciate the opportunity to come in front of our partners across the country to talk about this massive shift to wealth and how we can capitalize on this massive shift to wealth using the deregulation of energy, which is going to be one of the largest transfers of wealth in our country. And I say to the partners that, look, use this energy as a leader with respect to sharing this opportunity within our communities. This past week, I put 3 new partners in business, personally, frontline, by sharing the energy. I went back to my list, looked at my deal makers, my real estate developers, looked at my guys that are in finance. One of our good partners is MBA from Harvard University. Just signed on this past weekend. We did a training last night with him and a real estate developer. And we have a party promoter that just got started because he wants to, he has relationships with clubs and so forth, and he knows that there are clubs in New York City that need to reduce their energy expenses because he sees it all the time and he has conversations with the ownerships. So these are 3 frontline partners that says we want to capitalize on this massive shift to wealth. We want to take advantage of what the vision is here in the tri-state area. So we just put them in business. They're very excited. We did a training last night. We're going to take this thing all the way to the top. We have a goal of north of $100 million over the course of the next 5 years. So thank you so much, Uncle Les, for allowing us to address the team. Thank you.
Awesome. That's National Director Lino Solis, number 1 producer overall. His team and this company closed the most deals altogether. But now he's getting a little competition all the way around. I love it. And he's helping these individuals get there, too. That's the spirit of this business. There's enough. The $500 billion is enough for all of us to get paid very, very well. So, Lino, thank you. Also, he's a prominent attorney, successful in his practice as well in the real estate private equity market. So, Lino, thank you and appreciate you as a partner and coming on these calls. Every Thursday he's on this call religiously to help everyone out here succeed in this business. Of course, National Director Ricardo Suber, after closing the big-time deal, any final words for everybody?
Pretty much just, get your piece. It's still wide open. This is a largely untapped market. 5 Links is perfectly positioned. So, when it comes to just having the largest footprint out there with this, definitely you guys get your piece. Start with the people that you know and continue to branch out. Again, I just definitely want to shout out the entire team, especially this vitamin call, Uncle Les. Your advice is amazing. Lino, you've been phenomenal. And I also want to shout out Karen. I kind of bugged her after she closed her deal because I wanted to get some information. So if anybody has any questions or wants to reach out to me at Facebook, my name is spelled Ricardo, and last name is Super, so it's S-U-B as in Bravo E-R. So definitely best of luck to everybody out there, and thank you so much for having me on the call.
Awesome. Remember, those of you who don't know, Ricardo first heard Karen talk about her big, at that time was the biggest deal closed, I think over 200 points, and was excited about that and decided that day that he was going to get his deal. Took him some time, but he made it happen. Lino, go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize, Uncle Les. Just want a big shout out, New York City, all SVPs, BLM, tomorrow, Thursday night, 71 West 23rd Street, with the leadership of SVP, Joe Vince Moncourt, Ted Crawford, Tawan, Small, and of course Smalls, Lerod Smalls, Tawan Lowe. The entire New York SVPs will be at 71 West 23rd Street, New York City, for Big BOM starting at 7 p.m. Registration 7:15. We start at 7:30 sharp. Thank you.
Awesome. They consolidated the New York meetings there, Brooklyn, in New York City. That's a phenomenal. I heard it's been nice and packed now. All the SVPs plugged in, all the BMWs in front. Wonderful. That's what we 5 minutes is about. We're going to blow New York up, so congratulations. And, of course, Senior Vice President Lerod Small, if you're still on the line, would you say any final words to everybody? I don't know if he's still on it. I saw him get back on. He had fallen off. Lerod, are you there? Okay. Awesome. We just want to give Mr. Smalls a chance to reach out to everybody if he was on. Okay, guys, there you go. You're now empowered. Let's go out there and start with any deal around you and work your way up, like Ricardo did. I want to hear your story in 6 months to a year, how you close the next biggest deal, because you heard Ricardo Suber take action. But he didn't get it right away. He followed the same system of 5 links where we know that some will, some won't, so what next? He got some deals, they didn't happen, but he kept pursuing, and now he's closed a huge deal and has a tremendous potential. And that's why I love this opportunity, and that's why we need to all open our mouths every day, because you never know who you're sitting next to, who you're going to run into, or who you know who knows someone that could lead to the next big deal in 5 links. But guess what? If you don't put in your dues, if you don't learn the process, if you don't go to your virtual office, if you're not PSVP trained, if you don't have your 25 points or more, you're going to miss your blessing, because you won't be in position to take advantage like Ricardo has done closing this deal. So, guys, thank you for being online. Let's go get it. I'm off and running to network today, holiday stuff with my kids. Guess what? I'm going to network all day. I'm going to New York City, too. So I'm truly going to find some people I know there to make some calls, because it's just about reaching out and leveraging your network. Once again, use this. Lino does it to recruit, to bring, because you have a $500 billion industry. We're getting paid. If you close a deal, 1% of the energy after we save these companies. And I've seen savings of 60, 70, 50, 40, 30%. And when you talk to hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, that's significant money you're saving them. They will thank you, okay, once they understand what you have in your hands. But guess what? They will never understand if we can't even get in the door, if we're not professional, if we don't know what we're talking about, if we're not understanding what we do. So let's get out there and make it happen. I want to hear the next big story tomorrow. Tomorrow, please be on. Thursday, we're going to